Hello, welcome to Real Magic Review. My name is Steve Faulkner, and today we're gonna just talk about stuff. Just talk about random stuff. I'm gonna answer comments. That's what I'm gonna do. But you can ask me questions as well. Thanks for turning up. Hi Gary, how you doing, Stuart? Nice to see you. Yeah, I'm quite relaxed. It's been a good week. I did 2 live reviews yesterday because I had all this tech issue. So I thought, I have to do them live because I haven't got time to film them. And that was quite all right, but they tend to go on for about an hour. So I can't do that every time I do a review. I'll be losing you by the drove. So I'll be doing them comments. Before I do this, can you please like and subscribe? Check out cardmagiccourse.com. That's my online card magic course. If you like this, you will love that. And people tend to like it very much. So have a look at that. We go live every week, and we shall be doing at in an hour, in 59 minutes, we'll be doing a live session. And do you know what? I'm going to, I've rediscovered, it's interesting, I reviewed a trick on here quite back in the day by Vinny Sagoon. I didn't really like it that much. It was all right. It didn't really do it for me. And it kind of, and then I didn't see any of his other stuff. And now I've really got into his stuff. He's been, I got that, Beyond Limits. I reviewed a couple of things of his fairly recently, which I really liked. The bucket list thing, which I didn't review, but I got, which I thought was a really lovely little trick. And the bug one, what was it called? The cockroach one. Oh, that's going to be annoying now. Someone remind me. Sorry, Vinny. But yeah, and I thought that was a lot of fun. And these are great. So I got these, and what I'm looking for is tricks that I can teach that aren't kind of self-working, but and I haven't read all of it, so I don't know but easy enough to teach people that are on that journey that haven't really got to that place. Well, even that have, like me, that want to do stuff that just plays really strong, that isn't sort of knuckle busting, and it's really good stuff. I learnt that today. I practiced that chase, and when I saw the video of it before getting out, I think it's a really lovely packet trick. I think it's really nice and really fooling. Show that to a layperson, they're going to totally not know what's going on. And then I'm teaching a trick on my card magic course live session tonight, which is called Turkish Delight, which again I think is like the sort of ratio of strong and kind of eye-popping and super easy is really good. So recommendation, no filming some. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Geordie, how you doing? Greg as well, how are you? So I'll get straight onto the comments. Do remember, if you've got any questions, put them up now, because there is a little tiny bit of a delay between me and you. Hey Matthew, how you doing? And I'll just sort of work through them if I get my windows right. Okay, so I did 3 reviews, the main one being Molecules by Dave Lucy. When I say the main one, that was the one that wasn't live, and it was a while ago, so it's got more comments, because 2 of them were yesterday, so I don't mean main as in the best one. I just don't mean mail at all, really. I don't know what I'm talking about. Just no idea. But that's not surprising for anyone, is it? So first of all, we'll start with Dreambox, which I did yesterday. And very briefly, I'm not going to go through them, but Dreambox was a real revelation for me. I didn't think it was my sort of trick, and I think it's just a really fooling, convincing piece of mentalism. I think it's great, feels really unique and sort of odd and quirky, but of course very strong. And do let me know, by the way, hey Stephen, how you doing? Do let me know, 5,600 miles away. Yeah, I know, that's crazy, isn't it? That's what I love about this. Do let me know if I do the juddering thing. I've been having all these tech issues, so I just need you to tell me if it happens again. And thank you so much. Someone did yesterday, and I looked back at it, and I was actually showed Apple and said, look, that's happening. It's very odd, and it might happen again. Weirdly enough, you should pop up, Stephen, because I'm just about to read your comment about Dreambox, and I do have an answer for you. So really interesting. I'm playing around with the idea of and have settled on one option, perhaps more. The idea of Dreambox is you can buy one version of the trick, say the celebrity version or the party version, and just do that, which I think is really strong. Or you can add another dimension of it by buying all of them, but then it's a big. Obviously, it's a big investment, a bigger investment. But again, if you're using it, but you're thinking of buying a few. How many cards are there in the replacement package? Not one of the sites selling it is a state that I found it. where I found one site saying that it did, which I think it was on eBay that I found it. A magic shop selling them on eBay. So when you buy the replacements, and the idea is at the end you unfold this thing and it's got the free predictions on it and the photo, and you can give it them as a giveaway if you buy the replacements. Again, I think like you said, you are very much correct. It is a positive to give it away. It's a really lovely thing to do. But if you can't, you can't, and it's still a strong trick. You get, now I think I've worked out my maths right, you get 3 packs of 60 cards when you when you get the giveaway. So you basically get 3 giveaways of each celebrity, of each card in each celebrity, I think. Because I think yeah. So you get each prediction, you get 3 giveaways of. Is that right? Because on each card, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 12 on each card. Oh no, I'm not gonna go into it because I'm gonna give away the secret. I was just about to just give away the whole thing then. Look, listen, if there's any lay people that have got this far, please get alive. There's more interesting things to watch than me fumbling about trying to do maths in my head. So yeah, but yeah, that's what you get. Oh God. So that's that. That was that. And I hope that's answered your question. It was only yesterday, so there's not going to be loads of comments on that. The next one, we'll do molecules at the end. Random happenings. Again, it was only last night I did that, so yesterday afternoon. But people do like this. There's a lot of love for this. Because I said Ryan Schlutz was selling this and on his site before Abstract Effects. And both of these tricks, actually all the tricks this week are just, and not that they're not most weeks, but are just for me are kind of very, very, what you see is what you get. What you see in the trailer, the claims that all the trailers make are exactly what they are. So you're not going to be disappointed. Julien says, I like the look of this. This is about Ryan Schlutz's book test. It's very briefly, it's a book test where you rip up the pages of a book. Spectator gets any one of those pages. They rip it up into eighths, sixes, eighths. And then choose any word out of one of those eighths, any one of those eighths, throw the rest away and you get the word. So it's great. And it can be a prediction, which you've already got written on a bit of paper, or it can be just the other one. Yeah, and it's not the most expensive book test. Exactly, book tests are expensive and this isn't. We feel more comfortable ripping up the success book because you get 2 books. You get one that's like a cheesy business book and one that's a novel. Right? And you feel... yeah, and actually, someone mentioned the Pegasus type book test page effect. I always forget the names of the certain types of book test, and book test where there's a missing page is, of course, the Pegasus one, which I couldn't get my head around. I forgot the name of it yesterday. But you got one, which is this lovely idea of having a TARDIS, because you do a time travel, Josh Zandman's Time Machine, which is a Pegasus book test, and or Pegasus page effect, and you use a TARDIS, which is great. And the bit it's got Doctor Who, yeah, just amazing. So really nice, these comments that sort of give us ideas as well, and inform me, because sometimes I've got huge gaps in my magic knowledge. I like to think I know myself, and then someone says something, I just go, oh, I don't know that. I love this effect by Bathtub NZ. I got it off Ryan's Penguin Magic lecture, which is recommended highly. So there you go, there's a recommendation from Bathtub NZ of Ryan's Penguin. I'm sure it is very good. I'm now a bit disappointed that everybody can get it. Yeah, it does feel like that, doesn't it? But don't forget, we get this image of our head of everybody doing it and everybody seeing it. But even if loads of people bought it, which, never happens in any magic, it's a niche thing, isn't it? So I shouldn't worry about, I'm not saying you're probably just sort of joking, but I shouldn't worry too much about it being out there, because I don't think it's going to be a massive. It's not going to be like Mother of All book test, and that's so common. And again, when lay people see that, they still love it. So great fun to perform as the act of sharing a book is incredibly shocking to people. Yeah, that's absolutely. You do have to make sure your presentation is clear, that the person actually picks a word. As I had someone attempt to guess a method that the book only had one word repeated over and over. Yeah, so which isn't a method, by the way. On the last night of the show, I had trouble getting a volunteer up and ended up getting a woman who turned out to be an actress comedian from the popular TV show film series. Okay, was really combative about the... Oh, really? It's interesting, isn't it? Because I would think that most people who are comics or performers, when they get on stage, actually play it down and don't try and kind of, get ahead. Because we all know that's a nightmare, isn't it, when you try and get upstaged and skip. Yeah, so... Basically, you're saying what if she just said, what if I just say a random word and it's going to be a disappointing result for everyone? Then she just got bored. It was my first time dealing with a frustrating spectator. So it's an interesting one. I find with those spectators who are getting up or they're a bit drunk and being a bit kind of combative, I think when it happens, and with street performing, you know, you have to get used to that a lot, not just spectators, but also people, you know, just walking past and drunks on the back of Covent Garden, where we used to work, there's a balcony of people just drinking, trying to ruin the shows a lot of times. A lot of time they were supportive, but the Punch and Judy pub, famous pub, looking down on the street performing pitch, and you're doing your 40-minute show, you know, and they took shows off me before, just shouting and, you know, me getting intimidated by it. What I found works for me is to almost give them their moment of glory and do that thing about, like, let them get bored. Or my first thing when someone's being mouthy, because the initial reaction is frustration, to sort of go, oh, and sort of kick back at them and do the one-liners and stuff, which can work, but I try and kind of almost laugh with them for a bit. And it's very hard to do, especially if they're really annoying you. But if you kind of sort of get a good one or all that, and try, sometimes that'll dissipate it. And then if that doesn't work, it's so difficult, isn't it? Everybody's so different. But I do find that the audience tend to be on your side with that. And, you know, with that thing, and I'm not advising you because you probably know just as much as me, really, but if she said, oh, what if I just say a random word, then that's going to be a disappointing result for everybody, isn't it? I'd sort of say, yeah, totally, it won't work at all. You know, go with it and do that thing. Of course, that's not going to work. What do you think? What do you think I'd be stood here if I could do that? You know, that kind of thing. And I think that's why it can be quite funny to not play that thing. And again, I'm not saying you were, I'm just using it generally, which is why I do kind of play that stuff down. You know, put the card, you know, say stop when I riffle these. I would let you just put it in there, but I'd never find it. You know, all that kind of stuff. I do all that stuff quite a lot, and it can be quite funny with certain people because they kind of know, don't they? Great. Thank you so much. That's brilliant. Little audio glitch. Thank you so much for people that tell me about this. I really need to know. And Dean's mentioned that John Archer did a presentation with Laura Buxton, which is what Ryan Schlutz talked about as well. And he's put a link to that on there. So if you want the link to John Archer, not doing the same trick, but using a presentation around the same subject, have a look on the Random Happenings link that Dean has very kindly put on there. Okay, let's go to questions. And Julian, there you go. Hi, Steve. This always feels like the pre-party to this Card Magic Course live session. Yeah, absolutely. And it's nice because it's nice to kind of... They feel very different, you know. It feels like they are very different, obviously, but it's nice doing one and then having that tiny little break and then going into the other. I've got a question about my Shadow wallet. I've mislaid it. Should I buy another one or will it turn up? Have you? Oh, but God, I hate losing stuff. When I lose stuff, I get like proper obsessed with finding it. I just can't do anything until I've found it. I've turned the house upside down looking for things that just aren't very valuable before, just because the thought of not finding it does my head in. And I remember once losing I had a little wallet of my coins in it, and I didn't even do gaff coins at the moment, so it's just $half and dollars and stuff that I carried around with me. And I looked for this thing for 4 months, everywhere. I looked everywhere for this thing, and I just got, every now and then in those 4 months, I just go and have a quick look, and I just presume they're going to... And then I gave up, and then a couple of months later, they just turned up, and, you know, wedged down my car seat. Just there, I just saw them there, and it's just like, right. Being a tech guy, you forgot the calculator to put next to you. I know, I'm not a tech guy. I'm very much not a tech guy. But the calculator, yeah. That me working out maths for, but it is free giveaways. There you go. I think. I don't think I'd like to put Random Happenings back together every time I perform it. It's not actually bad. It's not, because you just kind of, it kind of puts itself back together. It's not like you got to count page numbers and stuff. So, yeah, I thought that, but I played with it and I showed it, like I said, to kids and stuff. Went back, but tapped it a few times. It kind of goes back. So it's not as bad as you would think. It feels more hectic than it is. Julia, most audiences are supportive and keep quiet even if they think they know how a trick works. I've only ever had one challenging spectator, but he was only 2 years old. Tell me about it. Nightmare. Yeah, it's kids in audiences are an absolute killer. The worst thing as a street performer is when you had a line of kids in the front row, and the parents would go off and get a drink, and you just knew it was just like, it was like, can you babysit my kids? I don't know you, but do you have Pi Revelations? No, I wanted to review it. I was interested in reviewing it, but I never got it. But that's fine. Can't review everything. I ain't got time, but it looks great. So maybe I'll still get one. Don't know. Right, so Dave Loosely's Molecules. Let's look at this. So nice review of A Nice Effect from Rob Jacks. So nice to see Dave Loosely again. I love his calm and unhyper style. Yeah. Similar to yours. No yelling, no hyperbole, just fine magic. Thanks. Yeah, and it's really good magic. I really like this trick, Molecules. I think it really is my sort of trick. Just a really nice bit of sleight of hand that's unusual. It's got a couple of laughs in it. Squashing a little mini pool ball is just odd and funny and weird and surreal. And there's so many presentations you can do with it. A very practical routine. You can have fun performing in your own style. It does leave a lot of space for that, as do all these tricks, I think, this week. Refreshing change for Dave, not upping the price with loads of expensive packaging. Don't know anything about that. I don't know if you're talking about other tricks that I haven't checked out, but thank you very much for saying nice review. Top review and great work on Molecules, Dave. There's a lot of love for this trick, which I'm really glad about. I'm really, really glad that people like this trick because they're looking past the kind of hype and just looking at the quality of it. Looks like a great routine. My coin slides are beginner. This is from David. That was from Ian and Chris before, by the way. Looks like a great routine. My coin slides are beginner, but maybe with a bit of practice I could get this down. Great review as always. Yeah, I think so, David. It's not an advanced routine. Yes, I mean, the sleight that he teaches in it, I would say, with practice, anybody can do it, but it is advanced, as in it does need practice. But I would always say, with this sort of routine, yes, you've got the way he does it, but there are simpler versions of it, like the thing with the business card. All you really need to do for that one is to pull a business card and be able to do that. There's not a vanish or anything in that, just to do that quickie trick of showing a business card with a snooker ball on it, or, a business card shape, but it's like a sports club card, a pool hall card. And then saying, look at the card, it's gone, and it falling off the card that's super easy. So be able to do that, definitely, and just sort of build it up. Tom, there is a certain satisfaction in making something flat. There really is. I think there really is. And it is that squashing. It's like the Sharpie stuff you can get, isn't it, where you squash the end of the Sharpie. I think it's really... people really, really respond well to it because it's funny. It's almost like, it reminds us of watching cartoons, doesn't it? Like Roadrunner and stuff like that. It's that flat, what's in flat is really funny, and then almost bringing it back to life. Really get the inner child going. I'd ended with a 6'8" ball falling from the rafters, collapsing in the table. Yeah, absolutely. Nice review, thank you, Jeffrey. Nice routine, like it a lot from Jealous. So, yeah, so a lot of love for that. So 3 really solid things this week, and I'm glad I got those out because next week's I'm away until Monday, so we'll get review out next week, but it might be a little bit quieter. I could do a couple of live ones again. Stephen Steele, a comedian, once said that if you had 200 2-year-olds, he could conquer the world. Yeah, absolutely. It's brilliant. It's like magic as well. Kids are a nightmare. If you're a kid's entertainer, that's off to you because it's way more difficult than a load of people at a corporate event. Yeah, the flat ball thing with an 8 ball is much better than with a sponge ball, absolutely. Right, so there you go. That's that. Thank you very much. I think I asked a few people, I put the feelers out, I didn't ask everybody, but just about I'm doing these shows Mondays and Thursdays, and I'm worried that it's kind of a bit much doing 2 a week. So I think I may go to just Thursdays. Well, I don't know yet, but it just maybe sort of a bit more consistent if I do that rather than having to bail on the odd Monday, because this Monday may be the same as well because I'm travelling down, going to see my parents tomorrow, which would be lovely. Yeah, the inflating ball bit with a straw from Gymnastics is great. I love stuff like that. And I think Dave Williamson had a similar thing, didn't he, with cups and balls? He'd sort of, don't know what I'm doing that for. I know why I'm doing that because it's a thing. I just in my mind then I had a coin there because I do the thing with a coin when I take it in the hand. But that's not what he does. He vanishes it and sort of blows it out the end of the magic wand while doing the cups and balls, which is great. So, thanks a lot. Do like and subscribe. Do that. And I know many of you have, most of you have. But if you're watching this and you haven't, please do that. That would be lovely. Check out cardmagiccourse.com, which I think you will like very much. If you want a free spread cull download, a download of the spread cull, a video download, which has got a few videos in it on that move, very in depth. It's cardmagiccourse.com/cull, CULL. And that's very kind of you, Julian. Thank you. He says, we appreciate all your hard work, but you need to protect your time based on priorities. Yeah, and this is, you guys are, this channel is a priority. It might not be a moneymaker, but it's something that really, really I love doing. And that's why we do what we do, isn't it? I suppose. We just got to find a way of making enough to get by when we do it. So check out cardmagiccourse.com. So take care, everybody. Listen, have a brilliant one, and thank you so much for joining us. Thanks. Bye-bye.